Shabbat, Shabbat, Adonai. Welcome to the Sixth Exodus program. Thank you for listening. This segment here is called the Opium War. That's right, the Opium War. Um, the Chinese people made sacrifices unto God from 2205 BC until 1911 AD, and it was called the border sacrifices. And they made the border sacrifices in what is called now the Temple of Heaven. All the emperors made sacrifices unto what they call El, I'm sorry, Shandai, Shandi. Now it's very interesting that the name Shandi is very similar to the name of the Hebrews, what we call El Shaddai. In Chinese, I think now they also called Tian. Tian means sky. So um, very interesting how uh, the the teachings of Christianity was brought in after the Opium Wars, and how they started worshiping Christianity and started worshiping the idols of white Jesus after the Opium Wars. And I think if it wasn't for Mao Zedong, China would be in worse conditions than it is now. Because had they turned their country over into the people who are called Jewish, who had started the Opium Wars, because they wanted cocaine from the Chinese people. That's why they went over there and fought with them, because they wanted their cocaine so they can sell it. A lot of things that people do, if they don't, if they don't get what they want, or people do what they want them to do, then they go into their country and kill them. And so the people in Great Britain was mad with the Chinese because the Chinese refused to give them cocaine, opium. So they went to China and killed a lot of Chinese people for opium so they can get high. Very sad. But those same Jewish people are the one who brought Christianity, that thing called Jesus, into their country to worship it. It's not a person, it's a picture of an idol. And Chinese people start worshiping that, and shameful. But Chinese people, a lot of them are Hebrews. And so Hebrew people have been targeted to cause them to worship idols. And this is what the Jewish people have done for all Hebrew people, wherever God has led Hebrews and has scattered them, they have led and targeted them to cause God to hate them, the whole nation of China and Hebrew people, because they don't know where Hebrew people are. So they tried to bring the whole country down. I think right about now, only I know where Hebrew people are. And I think Chinese people have a little bit of history about them being black, but I don't think any Hebrews know that they are Hebrews. But I know that they are Hebrew people in in two provinces, and there are two provinces that they are located in, five cities that Hebrew people they have settled and they have scattered around. Um, because God, the Most High, God of the universe, has showed me where all His people are located, and so God has given me the duty of bringing these people back to Him, to letting them know. Of course, I cannot bring you here because I'm partially handicapped, but I can let people know so they can keep the law, so that they can be sealed, so that they can become resplendent. They will have eternal life if they start keeping the laws of God. Um, this is my duty. So I tell God's people who they are, and then they have the responsibility of keeping God's laws. If they don't keep God's laws, then their life, of course, would be very difficult because God made an oath to our forefathers that He would bring the nation of Israel back to Israel. So those who keep His law, of course, they will be resplendent. That means have eternal life. And this is my prayer also, not just for my brothers and sisters where God has scattered us because our forefathers worshiped the idols. And so many people I know in China are still worshiping idols. They worship Buddha and they worship the picture, that thing called Jesus. And so, time to wake up, and God's people need to come home. And He's calling for His people to come home and to keep His laws. So, it's my job to tell people their responsibility in obeying God's voice and keeping His laws because they are Hebrews. Uh, I told you in the last segment, but let me tell you again what Chinese people are. God will let you know who you are. If I tell you and you hear this message, then you will know. And then other Chinese people can tell other Chinese people. So, because I don't think they can get YouTube in China. So, but the word will get around. I'm not worried because God is going to bring His people home. I am not worried. But the people are in the two provinces they are at. They are in Fujian province and they're in Guangdong province. Now, they were brought there on the sea ships, on ships a long time ago between the year 15, 1526 and 1703. They was brought there on slave ships and they was left there. They were sold and they intermingled with Chinese people, but they are Hebrews and they have learned Chinese customs and everything, but they are not Chinese. They are Chinese, of course. They live there. Like I'm an American because I live here, but my ancestral roots are Hebrews, and God will let you know who you are so that you can keep the laws of our forefathers. Now, the cities where they're in Fujian, they're in Rizhou and Xiamen. In Guangdong, they are in Meizhou. I think Meizhou is the same thing. It's called Mexian City, and Shantou and Shaguan. This is where God's people are. And if if I don't say where they are, then God will bring them there Himself. And but the people will know who they are. God will tell them who they are, so they can start keeping the covenant of our forefathers. I mean, keeping the laws. That means keeping the Sabbath day and not eating forbidden foods that we're not supposed to eat. Okay, I'm going to end this segment. But the temple of heaven is not just a tourist site. It was given to the the Chinese forefathers for a reason, for them to know the covenant of their fathers. But the Jewish people have come in there and put these idols there so that Chinese people will not serve God, and so God will destroy them when He comes back or not let them prosper. Okay, well, God bless you, and pray for you and pray for me here, and pray for all of God's people everywhere, Hebrews, that God has scattered our forefathers since 70 AD.